at the Fibers Studio, you can do embroidery on burlap. Burlap is like this really kind of scratchy, rough fabric, and it's got a very loose weave, which means there's little holes in it, so it's perfect for embroidery for us. So when you are setting up to do your embroidery, you need a couple of different things. You need this is called a hoop. Okay, so you're gonna get a hoop. You're also going to need string, and start with just one color. You can always add more colors. You're going to need a needle, burlap, and then some scissors. Okay, so first we've got to set up our hoop. So hoops have this little screw on the end. You need to loosen it first. So loosen it. Don't pull it all the way out. Just twist it so it loosens. And then when it's loosened, you should be able to pull this ring out. Okay. So we have a small one, and then we have the big one with the screw on it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your burlap piece and you're going to set it on top of the big hoop, the one that has the screw on it. So you're going to set it on top just like that. And then you're going to take the small hoop, and we're actually going to try to put it inside that big hoop. Now this can be a little tricky. Okay, sometimes you've got to kind of pull that bigger hoop out first, and then you can press it in. Okay, it's going to start to look like this. So this is the back, and this is the front. So after it's in, you can use that screw and you can tighten it up. It doesn't need to be super tight, but tight enough to where nothing's gonna move. Okay, so that's how you set up your hoop. Okay, your next step is you need to thread your needle. So I'm starting with purple. I'm gonna grab a needle. I'm gonna poke one of the ends through the hole. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave a tail. A tail means you just leave a little bit of it hanging out the other side. We don't want any short tails like this. That's gonna fall out. We want kind of a long tail like that. Okay, and then on the other end, you need to tie a double knot, just like you're tying a shoe. Okay, so there's one knot. Kind of make that loop, push it under and through, and then pull it tight. So you've got two knots kind of right on top of each other like that. Okay, so now you are ready to sew. So we always want to start in the back. So I'm going to put my needle in the back. I'm going to decide where I want to start. I'm just going to start in the middle. I'm going to poke my needle up through the front, grab it with this hand, and I'm going to pull. Now, hopefully, you're going to pull until your knot stops like this. Don't pull too hard or else your knot's going to come all the way through. So pull until you feel that knot, and then you can stop. Okay? So now we can start our design. When you're first starting out with embroidery, I would not really try to do a picture. I would just start practicing. So I pushed my needle down and then I pulled it tight. We don't want to leave any strings loosey-goosey like that. Okay, we want everything to be pulled tight. Okay, so I pushed it down, I tightened it, now I'm going to push it up. So I'm going to pick a spot behind here, pull it up, pull it tight, and then I can continue. Okay, so I think I'm going to do down like that. Okay, I am just making a line, doing them right kind of next to each other. Okay, maybe I want to make like a little arrow. You're basically just drawing, but with string instead of markers or pencils. Okay, so there's a little arrow. When you want to switch colors, you are going to turn it over to the back, and then we want to leave a tail, but we need to secure it somehow. So do you guys see how there's these strings on the back? what you can do is you can just kind of put your needle underneath those strings, pull it tight, just to keep that string in place like that, and then you could trim it off. If you're worried about it falling out, you can also do like a loop and tie it. So I put the needle under that string, just like that, and then I'm gonna put my needle up through that loop, and then I'm gonna pull it tight. Not too tight, okay? And that'll secure it for sure. And then you can trim it, remember leave a tail, and then you can start with your next color. So you'll just keep going until you have your design.